Guten Morgen, and welcome to, sorry, my German jumped out there. Good morning, and welcome to Fuel for Success, everyone. This is episode number 152, and whether you're watching live in the U.S. or you're watching on archive in Germany or even Australia, mate, because Jason will probably be watching later. Our boy Jason, I got a message from him this morning. And, or wherever, maybe you're in Iceland and you're watching this. Welcome to the show. Glad you're with us. This is Fuel for Success, where we give you daily motivation, tools, and fuel to drive the success of your life as a vehicle through the highways of life. That was where I stare off dramatically into the middle distance. Hey, good morning, Matt. How are you today?
I am good, my friend. It sounds and looks like you got a good night's sleep last night.
I was in bed by midnight, which is crazy for me.
I just crave those days, my friend. We'll talk about that in a minute, but tell us what's in store today, man.
Well, today is Thursday, and just like every Thursday, we talk about business development, entrepreneurship, running your business, those sort of things. And we've got several interesting questions lined up for today, including writing books, selling things online, and getting people's attention. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today.
Sherry asked if I'm stopped up or I have a cold. No, I don't think so, Sherry. I don't think I'm probably getting as much rest as I should be. So that could be what you might be hearing in my voice. But anyways, it's good. God's good, Mike. I'm excited. This is one of my favorite shows talking about business and entrepreneurship. Remember, here's the bottom line. If you failed in business for many years, or if you have a successful business, or if you are working 9 to 5 and you want to be in business, or you want to start a business, or you have an idea, whatever the case may be, this show will bring you motivation, encouragement, inspiration, and just practical, everyday advice. We haven't obviously mastered this subject. That's why we're doing this show, because we're climbing ourselves. But Mike, I'll say this real quick. I used to believe that everybody could start a business, and I've grown to really accept the reality, as much as I believe in people, that you literally have to be cut out for it. I mean, I could easily say, yeah, anybody can do it, and technically anybody can, but it does take certain type of people with a certain type of mentality and attitude and heart to be able to start a business and take that risk, or even just be in business. Some people, because of their makeup or who they are or what their belief system is or what their work ethic is, they're literally better off working a standard job. They would probably do better, actually, than going into business. But having said that, I love Carol's mentality. She's going to make $20,000 in the next 2 weeks. Why not? Dream big. But anyways, I do believe, Mike, that this show is our main purpose on the Thursday show is, whatever the case may be, whether you're in business and you're successful, or you've been in business and you failed, or you're thinking about going into business. We want to give you things that'll help you generate more cash, help you succeed, help you overcome obstacles, help you, maybe look at things at a different angle. So I'm looking forward to today, man. Looking forward to talking about book writing, man, and sales and business success. Looking forward. After I've seen some of the questions that came in, and looked like some pretty good questions there, my friend.
And what's interesting about business development and entrepreneurship and all the things that we talk about here is so many of these principles apply across the realm of your life. And so business is about psychology, and it's about numbers, and it's about managing your life and managing your time. So those skills transfer to a lot of areas of life, and that's why these five days of Fuel for Success, they all play off each other, and it all works together. Hey, real quick before we get to that, though, I just want to remind everybody that we actually have a webinar tonight, a free webinar, and I'm going to put the link up if you haven't registered for that. If you're interested in learning more about how to be noticed in your community as a church. We're doing a free webinar tonight at 9 p.m. That's the link. Go ahead and register. Send the link to people so they can register. No cost. 30-minute webinar. It is going to be packed with information, so you'll want to be there.
My bad. You put the link up, and then I posted Carol's comment. So my bad, my friend. I just thought her comment was good. So go ahead and put the link back up later.
Sorry, I'm going to take away your clicking privileges. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, by the way, every successful businessman needs these right here. Index cards. Like this, right? These could make you millions. Like this could be the secret of success for you, is index cards. I go through like one of these a week, you know. But anyway, that's just me. I write everything down. Mike, there's a value in writing everything down. I teach people all the time. Think on paper. You know, Einstein said the secret to his success was that he thought on paper. There you go. Because when you don't have a clear mind, you cannot achieve high-level success. I've seen it happen more times than I care to even just talk about. But a lack of clarity and a lack of focus and a lack of just clear thinking has been the downfall of many great people. So yeah, think on paper. Be a list maker. Get everything out of your mind and put it on paper, and be ready to operate with a clear mind. It'll definitely help you. Carol said you got Post-it notes everywhere.
I do. I love my whiteboard. Unfortunately, a lot of information needs to stay. I need a whole wall that's a whiteboard. That's what I need someday.
Yeah, I agree. I want a whole room of nothing but whiteboard, so where I can just like go in there and just write ideas. And okay, this is what I got to do this year. This is my, you know, I just want to be able to write everywhere. I want to write on the ceiling.
Man, that would rock. We're doing that. That's going to happen. Within 5 years, we'll have a whiteboard room.
Yeah, I see a day. I see it coming.
Sherry said they have white rooms at state hospitals. 5 years, you never know.
Never know, Sherry. Hey, anything can happen.
Yeah. Hey, Joe's asking about the webinar. Yeah, we'll send out a replay after, Joe, in case you're busy. I know you're doing probably some outreach tonight or something, knowing you. So,
no excuse, Joe. Don't miss. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the advantage of being live, just like being on the show here live, Fuel for Success. The advantage is you can ask questions and interact. So everybody that's on here right now, take advantage of it. If you're not chatting in the chat box and asking questions, you're only using 20% of the show. 20%.
Like, Mike, you know literally the power of technology and how the world has changed? We do our staff meetings on this thing called Fuse to where our entire staff can see each other. It literally is like hanging out. Like, even right now, I feel like I'm sitting in the room with you. I just don't like sitting. If we were sitting in a room together, like, let's say there's been times when, like, we've sat at tables and maybe Mike and I were sitting next to each other and then a couple people got up for whatever reason. We both instantaneously look and one of us moves because there's no such thing as two guys ever, like, sitting next to each other at a table by themselves. That just ain't happening in my lifetime.
Especially not in the booth.
Under any circumstance. Especially not in the booth, I agree. But yeah, Mike and I are quick to move. I mean, without question, without hesitation. One of us will do it or we'll both do it, and it's just like, hey, and we both appreciate that.
Well, and
be careful of the guys that don't move. We'll worry about those guys.
Some people don't notice things. But hey, speaking of technology, that's actually a great point. And let me use that to make a point about business in today's culture and today's, the world we live in today, which is vastly different than the world we lived in even 5 years ago. In fact, go back 7 years ago. 7 years ago, we didn't even have iPhones. Okay, remember nobody texted anyone, right? If you had a GPS like built into your car, it was one of the very few ones ever. And people had maps, like paper maps, and would stop and ask people how to get somewhere. But in today's world, you can literally run a business. I'm involved in several different business ventures, partnerships, and business. And and I rarely am in the same room with the people I work with. And so, using technology, video conferencing, that sort of thing, you can do. I mean, the sky's the limit today. It's amazing what you can accomplish. And in fact, it's probably possible. And I'd love to start a business that's 100% completely run from a smartphone and then write a book about it. That's one of the things that I want to do. So, because you can literally run a business from an iPhone.
I totally agree. When I'm about to say, I'm not even joking. I have had thoughts of literally selling or giving away everything that I own. And I mean everything except maybe 3 outfits and only keeping my iPhone and living out of my car for 1 year and making over $1 million just with my phone and then writing a book. Like, it's insane that we both think that way, because I've literally sat and thought about this for a long time, thinking about, okay, I'm going to sell all, give it all away, abandon everything, live in my car. When I have my son, go get a hotel room. When he's at his mom's, I'll live in my car. I'll go to the gym in the morning and shower there because I have a nice gym, and literally only work from a phone. Don't have a computer, don't have anything but a phone. Like, that, would that not be insane? What a journey. What an adventure.
I had nearly the same thought, only without the living in the car part.
I just want to show people that, look, if you've got a phone and you've got hustle, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Hey,
so one of our first questions, and this is, I actually might be a good question for Tuesday as well, talking about personal finance, but some people, let's say we've got viewers watching right now, and they're like, I'd love to make an extra $100 a month, right? What are some ways that I could do that? And I've got 100 ideas of how to make $100 extra a month, but I was really just going to make the point of in today's world, it's easy to make an extra $100 a month. Really,
it's ridiculously easy. It's shocking more people aren't doing that, Mike. It's shocking people that are like paycheck to paycheck and literally never have extra money, that they're not doing things that make them an extra $100 a month.
Yeah. There's of course there's 1,000 ways to do internet marketing and sell things on the internet. There's also ways to start businesses that you know how many people have today. Let me give you one example. Have you ever heard of Etsy? The website Etsy.com.
I haven't.
It isn't really something that's in our genre, I would say, but Etsy.com is really a marketplace for handmade items, right? And so, go sit on a corner with my banjo. People will pay me to stop playing. Etsy
actually make big money.
People will be like, "Stop, please, here's $10. Stop."
$10. I'll never play this again on this corner.
Etsy is an online marketplace for people that hand make crafts. And it's extremely easy to set up an Etsy website store, basically. So, again, going back 5 years ago, setting up an e-commerce store to be able to sell things on the internet was difficult. In fact, Matt, you remember probably 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I mean, it was a big deal for us to set up an online store. And there's all kinds of, it's a very technical thing. Today, with sites like Etsy, you can go create an account. It doesn't cost anything. You can post pictures of things, put it online, and let's say you hand make hair bows or something. You can and that's sort of a site that caters to crafts, caters to handmade items, and there's people that are making thousands of dollars a month on there. But to make an extra $100 a month, I mean, if you made 10 sales of items that cost $10. It's pretty straightforward. Now Etsy integrates really well with Pinterest, and those two things work together really well. So, and again, it's not really, Matt and I deal a lot with information products and some other things, so Etsy isn't really a good solution for us. But I think for a lot of our viewers, that's one way. Another way is that, and I think I talked about this, and I can't remember the name of the store, There was a guy that started going to garage sales and buying old golf clubs. And he started just cleaning them up, regripping them, and selling them on eBay. And he did that for just buying them at a garage sale, cleaning them up, selling them on eBay. And today he owns like a national chain of golf retailers from that endeavor. So if you think about that, something in that line, you buy a set of golf clubs at a garage sale for $5, right? Maybe invest another $20 in the grips and everything you need to do to refurbish it and sell it for $50. You do that 4 times a month and there's your $100. Now that's a little bit of work, but there's 1,000 ways to make $100 a month.
Mike, it's sickening. It's actually sickening. If people would apply their ideas and put in a little bit of time, I'm telling you right now, man, it's sickening the amount of extra money that's out there. There's really no reason. Now, everybody wants to talk about how bad the economy is, and it is bad. But if you would unleash your creativity, you could literally pay off debt. You could go full time. I mean, the ideas out there. The problem is, Mike, is a lack of execution or a fear of failure or a fear of looking stupid or thinking, oh, that's not a good. How many times have you ever had an idea, no joke, and you've gone into the store and you're like, oh, I literally thought of this? Or like somebody shows up on Shark Tank and, with this idea, and it's like going to be worth millions because one of the sharks invested in it, and now it's gotten exposure on a platform, and you're like, I had that idea. Like, I literally thought of that. Like, because the problem is people don't execute on it. So we could sit here right now and we'll share some. We'll share some ideas of how to make extra cash. But at the end of the day, Mike, the people that are doing it are the people that are doing it. These are people that have taken their idea and given it a shot. And you know what? Like Thomas Edison said, I failed more. And we've talked about that before. Like, go ahead, guys, write out the top 20 ways to make an extra $100 and try all 20 of them. Like, some will fail, or literally, like, if you needed extra cash, set the number that you need and think of the 20 most creative, practical ways that you can make it. I mean, the amount of stay-at-home moms that could make extra money selling cupcakes is astounding. I mean, dude, the cupcake industry right now, if you're good at cupcakes, I'm not talking about crap cupcakes. I'm talking about good cupcakes. I mean, I've known people that literally made a full-time business out of it, right out of their own kitchen. So making cakes, selling cupcakes. Dude, Craigslist and eBay, you said it right. There's been people that were broke, had nothing. They thought, well, I'm going to go sell some of the stuff I got in my garage. And they started selling stuff. They started going to garage sales, going and selling it, buying something for $2, selling it for, $20. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's astounding, man.
Yeah. Here's just a little tip, and this is something that I almost went into about 15 years ago. Is anybody who has an interest in the outdoors, fishing lures is a great place to be. If you can hand make fishing lures and sell them, fishing is the number 2 money sport in America. Number 2. There's literally billions of dollars spent on fishing every year. And it's a pretty wide open market, and of course there's niche markets within fishing. But for me, I wasn't even half trying, and I was making very simple commodity like spinnerbait lures, and I couldn't keep up. I had more people that wanted to buy them than I could sell. So, and I just didn't have really the time to invest in it. So that's something that if you're interested in that sort of thing would be pretty straightforward. You know what I'm thinking, Matt? I've actually got an ebook that I wrote about creating an online website that generates passive income, and I've got a website that generates that. I'm gonna if you want a copy of that ebook, I'm just gonna give a copy of that away to anybody that wants it, that watches the show. It's on sale right now for like $8, but anybody that wants that, just email me, mike@mattmaddox.com, and I'll send you a copy of that.
Kind of you, Mike. That's another way. I mean, bro, ebooks. The amount of money you can make on ebooks, extra money. Listen, everybody out there, whether you're in business or not, you should try to have, all the millionaires will tell you at least 4 sources of income. But here's what the wealthy do. The wealthy, poor people, they take money and they spend it. Wealthy people take money, live extremely conservatively, and use that money to make more money. So your goal should be to have multiple streams of income coming in from different sources. So even if it's a little bit, let's say you make an extra $100 a month doing something online or selling an ebook or some type of, like you said, golf equipment, fishing equipment, whatever the case, whatever it may be. I mean, some of you even could go into something like, even some of you younger people out there, the amount of money you could be making on babysitting or walking dogs. I mean, dude, if I was younger, which I'm saying not me, but I'm saying like if I was some of you young people out there, the amount of money that you're wasting by not getting into some type of dog walking business, it's insane what people pay for that. I mean,
True.
Some of you could make an extra $200 to $300 a week just going all throughout your community, offering to walk people's dogs for them. Because so many busy people out there might be working till 7 p.m. and hire people actually to come and take their dog for a walk. But anyways, whatever it may be, we're not going to take the whole show and give every idea that comes to our head or that's in our mind. I would say at least write down 20. At least write down 20 ideas.
Hey, you know what? I'm just since I'm giving away my ebook, I'm going to go ahead and promote my site. The site that I built that makes passive income for me is craigfine.com, which is like it indexes Craigslist and allows you to search across all the Craigslist sites at once, and then returns results, and then I make money from advertising on it. And so craigfine.com, you can check it out. So the ebook, if you want a copy of that, email me. I'll send it to you. The ebook explains how I built Craig Find and how it makes money and that sort of thing, and how you can replicate that.
Like, what's the stupidest idea you've ever heard that is now making money? I mean, stupidest idea that you would have looked at and said, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of, but now it's making money.
That's a great question. The stupidest idea? I would have never thought Craig Find would have made money. I didn't build it to make money. But it's brought in over $4,000 over the last 6 years. So
you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it just sits there and makes money. I don't know how about you? Have you got something in mind? You asked the question like you maybe thought of something. But
the stupidest idea that I'm shocked is making money?
The Snuggie. I'm with Stephanie on that one.
I think the 2 guys that are doing an ESPN show, it's a father and a dad and a son. I watch that sometimes with my son, and I just shake my head. I'm like, phew. I'm not even going to call the guys' names out just in case they ever happen on our show. I'm just so shocked that they're like on ESPN. When I look at it, I say, welcome to our country. Anybody can make it. Anybody can have success. That's one of them. And I think Joe probably knows what I'm talking about. I mean, there it is. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Mike. I'm sure if I sat and thought about it, I've looked at like hundreds of businesses and thought to myself, how are they in business? How is this place making it? How is this place producing cash? But it is. So, there you go, Joe. Joe's got it. Joe, I'm being real, man. I don't even know how those guys have airtime. But anyways, Mike, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about writing books, because you've got some ebooks. I've got some ebooks. I've got some books. You've got some books. And we're both on a mission right now, a very clear, laser-focused mission to write more books.
Right.
And, the thing of it is, Mike, is here's the bottom line about writing. Everybody always wants to know, what's the secret to writing a book? What I've learned, and I've studied, and I've asked all kinds of authors, the bottom line is, Mike, there's been millions of books written by people. And, case in point, the bottom line is this. Probably over 80% of the people that have written books, they will all tell you they never thought they could do it. They will also tell you they never thought it would be that easy once they got started. The problem with most people in books is that they never start, A, and B, they don't develop a flow or a system or a process for writing. So weeks will go by, months will go by, and they'll say to their spouse, I really need to get back to writing my book. What I've learned, if you don't develop some kind of daily or at least weekly process of when you're going to write, and the problem why most people don't write is because they're hung and stung by perfectionism. So instead of just flowing and writing, they're trying to fix it instead of leaving that to an editor. That's the number one thing that held me back, is that I'm such a perfectionist that I would want to try to make it perfect. And you never make your first draft perfect. Like, you just write it, you throw it out there, and then you let an editor stay up till 3 a.m. pulling her hair out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you leave that to somebody else. Like, so for me, it's just a matter of just writing, like literally writing. And then the real power of book writing is in the editing after what you write. That's probably the number one piece of advice I would give to somebody, is write it, get it done, get it to an editor, and then go back and edit it again. Go back and reread it and think of how you want to say it. Think of where you want to put this. And then you know what else I've done, Mike? With a lot of my books is I'll literally write down the chapters first. And I don't necessarily put them in order. I'll think about the subject. What if I want to write a book about soul winning, or I want to write a book about how to be a great dad? I'll literally make a list of all the possible chapters or all the possible subjects. And then when the inspiration comes, this is another thing. What you got to learn to write when the inspiration comes. That's the number one mistake that I made. I could have had probably 20 more books out by now had I really lived by that law of writing when the inspiration comes. Because a lot of times I'll just have this surge of inspiration and I won't follow it. I won't sit down and write in that moment. And so this is another reason why a lot of people get stuck when it comes to writing, is because they don't flow with their flow of inspiration.
It's good. Hey, I got to get a copy of Joe's book. I had no idea you wrote a book, Joe. Why didn't you tell us, man?
Come on, Joe. You got to talk to us, man.
Definitely going to get a copy of that. Hey, that brings up actually an interesting point, and Joe's book's available. I think, can you buy it directly, or is it just you go to Pentecostal Publishing House? So there's a couple of different ways. Once a book is written, the traditional way is to go to a publisher, and the publisher promotes it. The publisher, brings the book to market, that sort of thing, and and that's sort of the traditional way to market a book. The other way is to self-publish, and that also has its advantages. One of the biggest advantages is what percentage of the sale you get as an author, which is much higher than using a publisher. So the disadvantage is you don't have the marketing like mass behind you that a publishing house would. So with any publisher, whether it's Random House or in Joe's case PPH, they have their own marketplace. They've got an established market. They've got marketing channels that they can just sort of slide your book into, and that helps increase sales. But then you get a much lower percentage of the book sale. And really, the way that I look at it is from my perspective, having the marketing background, being able to market a book, self-publishing is a much more attractive option to me. So, your thoughts on that, Matt?
I agree. I totally like. I believe in self-publishing myself, and you know what, Mike? A lot of it depends on a person's network and their ability to market, and how many eyeballs they have. Some people need a publisher because they don't have name recognition or brand recognition, or they're new in the marketplace. They're not recognized. So a lot of times that's where a publisher would come in handy for somebody. If somebody has a mass network, big email list, a lot of people that they know, then you almost can get by without a publisher. You know, I see both sides. Me personally, I don't like using a publisher because I don't like giving away the profits, man. You know, or any of the profits.
And it's actually
what's that?
it's unusual
Go
to be
ahead.
able to sell the book directly and through a publisher, unless you're buying from the publisher in bulk and then reselling them. So that's one option. So you can't really, typically most publishers won't allow you to self-publish as well. So
Yeah, you're exactly right. And then the rules they put on you. I mean, you gotta be careful when you get into hiring someone to publish your book, you know, because some of them put some very strenuous rules on, you know, you and your book and where you can sell it. And I mean, just do your research. That's what I would say to people. You know, Mike, we're out of time, but I would be interested in going back into this subject next week. I like what Tommy said. Any ideas for recording thoughts? He said he gets his thought. You know, record on your phone, write with one hand, and you know, I use my iPhone recorder all the time. And I've done dictation writing before. It's not the best because there's a difference between how you communicate in writing and how you communicate, with your voice. It's totally a different style. But I do believe in it. I do believe that if you don't have the patience to like sit there and type and write, and you've really got some stuff to say, then do dictation and hand it to somebody that doesn't mind editing through dictation. And if anybody's looking for a good editor, I can tell you who's the best in my opinion, Pam Eddings. She is a really, really good editor. She does my stuff extremely good and usually doesn't miss anything. She's like a really good editor.
good.
But I like Joe. We'll talk more about this next week. I mean, guys, we're out of time today. We appreciate everybody that's joined with us. Of course, you guys always know you're welcome to visit our website, fuelforsuccess.tv. Check out any previous episode. We appreciate everybody that's watching. Yes, that's her name, Karen, Pam Eddings. You can find her on Facebook. Mike, any final thoughts, my friend?
No, this is Thursday. Make your list of ways that you can make an extra $100 this month and begin to execute. Don't be afraid to fail.
Hey, I'm failing. I'm telling you right now, I'm failing. I'm failing more, my friend, and more and more and more. Mike and I actually yesterday, if you could have heard our conversation, you guys would have been like, dude, these dudes are freaks, man. Because we've hit a zone of we're not playing. We're going for it. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, everybody that watched. We'll see y'all tomorrow for our show about family and relationships, my friends. God bless you.
See y'all later.